This performer coming on stage is a performer of outstanding repute in the Caribbean. This man came on the scene with a very, very great presentation as a playwright, as a storyteller. Tantimal, Slim, Colleen, just to name a few. And across the Caribbean, he has made us laugh on so many times, but the messages we have digest because they've been so great. Ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together as we present to you the Caribbean storyteller, playwright, Mr. Paul Keynes Douglas.
Thank you very much. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Boy, these lights so bright. Dim down the lights, make it about half moon or something. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Let me say what great pleasure it gives me to be here performing for Everybody's Magazine, you know. And you look like such a lovely audience. I know we're going to have a good time tonight. Fellas telling me how things hard in America and recession, all kind of thing, but you have to know how to look to see where the improvements are, you know. Yesterday when I came in here, I went downtown Brooklyn, I see a fella begging with one hand out like that. When I passed back in the evening, I see him begging with two hands out. I said, what happened, boy? He said, business good, I open a branch. So you have to know how to look. So, you know, things are improving. Don't find things that are too hard in America. You have to know how to look at it. All over the Caribbean, all over the world, people are having problems and so on. Especially storytellers. You know, when we do storytelling, when we come together, it's like family, you know. We like to welcome everybody to the storytelling, you know. So because how you begin is very important. You know, in Jamaica they say, Jack Mandoro me not choose none. In the French island they say, Tim Tim, voici. And the storyteller says, Tout ça qui beau bon Dieu mette à sous la terre. And that means all the good things on earth is God put it there. So before we begin the storytelling, we like to clear ourselves of all responsibility for what we're going to say. It's only a story. And this is something politicians should learn. Before they open their mouth and say anything, they should say they're not responsible for what they're going to say. So we like to welcome everybody, you know, because how you begin the show is very important. I know a fellow in Jamaica, for instance, when he met Selassie said, I am highly Selassie, the fellow, I'm highly delighted. Embarrass the whole of Jamaica. You know, but parents don't like their children in the Caribbean to become things like comedians or comics, you know. No mother wants to introduce her son like, meet my son, the clown. But if you're an engineer, or a doctor, lawyer, interior decorator, anything to earn it is all right. That's why tonight I'm a storyteller. You know, but you see in the West Indies we like to talk so much that we take it for granted. We feel that it's easy to be a storyteller. Boy, it take a lot to be a talker. In the first place, you have to know how to pronounce your words. You know, some of us like to talk, but we don't know how to pronounce at all. I know a fella get a job doing terrazzo, what you put on the ground to make it nice and smooth. First job he got on, he can't remember how to pronounce terrazzo. Look at the woman and say, Madam, I come to terrorize your floor. He lost that because of pronunciation. And of course, you know, in the West Indies, we have all these different accents. You have Jamaican, Grenadian, Barbadian, Dominican, Vincentian, St. Lucian, you have St. Thomas, you have St. Croix, then you have downtown accent, uptown accent, behind the bridge accent. You have accent by accident, you have all kind of accent. So you know the accent very important, especially when it comes to tourism. Because you know, we have these tourists who come to the West Indies and feel they cannot die because they're in paradise. So let's walk across the road and do all kind of stupid things they wouldn't do in their own country. They can't dead, they're in paradise. So the other day in Barbados, man, this tourist walking across the road and watching where he going in paradise, he can't dead. Bajan taxi driver coming on the road, full speed, nearly bounce him. Put up Breaks Creek. Man, the Bajan get vexed. Man, you come here to die. Tourists know I came here yesterday. So, you see the kind of problems we have with accent. So pronunciation, accent, all these things very important. And of course, you know, West Indians love to talk with their hands. If you want to hush up a West Indian, you don't tie him out, tie your hand and he can't talk. You know, saying how things long, 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 or they wrong, 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 or they short, short. Even see them when they're talking all kind of. But you see, that come from Africa. You see, in the old days, when we were in Africa, we had spear to throw, bush to jump over, lion to run from, alligator to fight, hippopotamus to jump up on, tree to climb, all kind of thing. They pick us up, they drop us in the West Indies, braps. No lion, no tiger, but we have all the action still. So when you see fellas talking, you know it's culture going on, so left them alone, let them wave their hand and so on. And of course, you know, West Indians love to talk, but they don't like to listen. If you see 20 West Indians in a room, they're all talking at the same time about different things and listening to other people's conversation. That is why we have confusion in the West Indies, you know? For instance, when I went to school, we used to do the 23rd Psalm, and there was this line that went like this: surely goodness and mercy shall follow you all the days of your life. And it was only about last month I found out who Shirley was. You know, for years, I used to believe that a girl called Shirley in the Bible, because I never listened. So you see, pronunciation, accent, all this kind of thing. Because as storytellers, we are communicating. And as West Indians, we communicate with our voices, our body, our mouth, our face, everything. Other day, I see a woman in Grenada running up behind a dustbin truck. She said, you have room for more garbage? Fella said, yes, man, jump in, jump in, jump in. You know? So I don't know what's really going on with this communication thing. So all these things go into making good storytellers, knowing how to look at the audience, how to use your accent, your voice, your words, and so on. Because, you know, West Indians, we communicate in a special way. We have a special way of looking at life. So when fellas say, boy, I understand the West Indians, they have problems. This is why politicians always have problems. They don't really understand the damn people. You know, you have to look at how we relate to each other. It have some doctors in Trinidad could tell you how sick you are just by looking at your wallet. They don't have to do nothing else. And the patient's worse. I know this patient gone to the doctor. Tell doctor, he said, doctor boy, I'm feeling very sick. Doctor say, do you urinate properly? He says, yes, doctor, every morning, 6 o'clock, urination, clockwork. Doctor say, that's fine. How about bowel movements? Say, yes, doctor, every morning, 7 o'clock, clockwork. The doctor say, no problem, you urinate properly, bowel movements proper. What's your problem? He said, doctor, I don't get out of bed till 9 o'clock. So, you see the kind of thing we're talking about? We talk about communication. We make life hard in the West Indies. So to study us, you have to study how we relate to life. Take cricket, for instance. When West Indies playing and they're winning, boy, you must know, everybody's smiling. Radio turn up, tweeter blasting, squeeter blasting, everything blasting downtown. You could see all inside everybody's house. They want to see all the nice stereo set, everything blasting. West Indies doing well, man. Some fellas put on TV, put on radio. They're watching TV, they're watching radio. They're watching TV, they're listening to radio. You know? West Indies doing well. But from the time West Indies start to lose, is the next story. Everybody face long, long, long. Men walking on the road like their mother dead. Some fellas turn off the radio. We ain't listening to no more damn radio. Then they go on by the window listening to the neighbor radio. You know, they can't take licks at all. Walking around the room, talking to themselves like they're mad. They should have, drop Lloyd, drop Lloyd. Lloyd not even playing, drop Lloyd. We can't take licks. Take a thing like going to the beach. You think going to the beach is a simple thing, eh? It's a simple thing. But in the West Indies, even that could be a problem. You notice how some people like to go to the beach, but don't bring no bathing suit. You know them? I have a friend like that. I say, boy, let's go to the beach. He said, boy, I'm coming, but I really don't want to bathe. You know what I mean? I'm going to just come for the line. I don't feel like really swimming. You know what I mean? I'm going to watch audio. I say, boy, bring your bathing suit. He said, nah, boy, I tell you, I don't want to swim. I say, all right. We go on to the beach. Well, boy, when we reach there, everything nice. Water sweet, sun hot, cloud white, sky blue. Everybody having a good time. He no want to bathe. Don't have no bathing suit. Well, lend me underpants now. My expensive New York underpants. I say, no way that underpants going in any salt water. No, I have a nasty little khaki pants. I just keep in the back of the car to clean the car. Now, most West Indians do not buy them yellow cloth to shine their car and thing. They use underpants, old shirt, t-shirt and thing. So I have a nasty little khaki pants. It had about 15 different color polish on it. First it's nasty. Look like tie-dye khaki. I say, well, I have that there. If you don't mind putting it on, you could borrow it. He said, no problem, man. So he put on my nasty little khaki pants, and an expensive New York belt cost about $50 US. And he jumped in the water, make a big brown circle immediately. But fellas like that do not swim near the shore. Oh no! He gone all out in the ocean where even Jaws wouldn't go here or there, man. Watch me, backstroke, side stroke, front stroke, he's swimming. Well, khaki already. When he done the show, it weighed about 2 pounds. But by the time the water hit it, it weighed about 40 pounds. He started jumping, help, 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 help. You think I swimming out there to risk my life for he in a nasty khaki pants? I say, drop the pants, it's mine, drop it, it's all right, drop it. He dropped the pants, but he ain't going to belt, swim throwing the belt alone. All because he wouldn't bring a bathing suit to the beach. Take the way we treat children. The way we treat children in the Caribbean is a shame. Sometimes we feel that children don't understand nothing, and we don't like to call anything by its proper name. That's why we don't have good mathematicians, because of toilet training. We tell the babies the children how they're doing number 1, number 2, and number 3. Then, as if that's not bad enough, to tell the child how you 1-zing, 2-zing, 3-zing. Next thing I tell the child, point when you want it to 2. So the child thinks we gone metric now, 0.22. So we have children 2 to the nearest decimal point. And that's why we do have good mathematicians. Because we associate mathematics with toilet training. Take how we treat women. You hear this thing about battered women? Well, they have a lot of battered women in the Caribbean. But we're trying to solve the problem. But to solve the problem, you have to admit that you're battered. And the women would not admit that they're battered. Telling you all kind of things, how they bounce a door, fall down a stair. I meet a girl that did a big cut on top of her head. I said, girl, what happened? She said she bites herself. You know what I mean? So I said, girl, but how you bite yourself quite on top there? She said she stand up on a chair. So we have some real problems. But the women are fighting back, The women fighting back, man. I meet a girl, I say, girl, how the husband? She say, husband, you mean husband? He gone so long, I let you go. And next one had a fight with the husband. And she watch him. She say, you see, you you're not going to see me for 2 weeks. And she cuffed him in bow ties. Boop, boop. So you understand the kind of situation. So you understand? We have to understand how we look at life in the Caribbean. Now, basically, half our problems in the Caribbean are, either hereditary problems or environmental problems. Now, hereditary problems are problems you inherit from your last husband, your last wife, the last government, the last whoever. Environmental problems are those you create for yourself by doing dotish things. Let me explain further the difference. Now, if your wife has a baby and look like you, that's hereditary. If your wife have a baby and look at the neighbor, that's environmental. So y'all understand? So, under these two sections of problems, you can break them down into two other sections, which are economic problems and health problems. Now, when it comes to economics, I believe that any West Indian housewife could run the government. Because most housewives understand the basis of good economics, and that is you cannot spend what you don't have. Most of our governments spend what they have, what they don't have, and what other people have. You have to spend what you have. Learn to economize. Like this priest who had a parrot and wanted to impress his congregation, he could work miracles. Give the parrot 2 bread and tell the parrot, go and hide on top of the church, and when I say send down bread from heaven, drop bread. Parrot said, no problem, man, give me the bread. So Sunday morning he say, my people, I can work miracles. They say, show us. He says, send down bread from heaven. I said, boop, he dropped the first bread. They say, miracles, do it again. He says, send down bread from heaven. I said, boop, he dropped the next bread. They said, do it again. Now the priest forget how much bread he gave the parrot. He says, send down bread. Parrot should think it's a bakery or a beer what. The thing is, you have to learn to economize, good economics. And that's economy. Now when it comes to health, just as you have to learn to economize, you have to learn to condomize. You see this thing called a condom? I'm talking about health now, health. It's very important that we get the message across with AIDS and all these things going on. We have to learn to talk about it. But a lot of people don't know what a condom is, but they wouldn't talk, but they're too embarrassed. I know a girl tell me she thought a condom was a small condominium. I know she buys shares in one. But she's not too bright, you know. She's the same girl tell me she thought the ozone layer was a foul. So you see the kind of problem we have out there with the population. So I was trying to work with the doctors on this health education project. Doctors say, well, we have plenty of problems. Say, we went to St. Lucia. Explain family planning to them. We got a condom, we got a big Gros Michel banana, and we put it on. They say they understand perfectly. 2 months later, this fellow wife pregnant. The doctor said, what happened, man? You say you understood. We used the banana, you say you understood. He said, yes, doctor, I put on a whole bunch and she still get pregnant. So, I already know what's going on out there. Another doctor in Trinidad now had a problem. He said about the Chinese part of the population. He said, explain to them. They said they understood perfectly. 2 months later, this guy's wife was pregnant. The doctor said, but what's the problem? You said you understood. He said, doctor, I understood everything, you know. But you see, when I put it on, it had a little piece left over, so I cut it off. So, I don't know what's going on. So I have to tell these kind of stories now to help educate the population, you know, in a nice way about the condom use. But we have problems even with the children because, again, you have to educate children and in the language they can understand. And sometimes we shy away from talking to children, believing they cannot understand certain language. And sometimes the children understand perfectly. Like this little boy doing homework, you know, he writing and thing. So the father, he says to the father, Daddy, how was I born? the father panicked immediately. He said, the stork brought you. Little boy write down. 5 minutes later, Daddy, how was grandpa born? The stork brought him too. Little boy write down. Daddy, how was great grandpa born? Listen, son, the stork brought all of them. Little boy write down. Closes the book, goes to bed. So the father says, I wonder why he asked me all those questions. Goes to the child's book, opens it, and there the child has written, there has been no sexual intercourse in our family for 3 generations. So you see, we talk about communication, and this is what a storyteller is all about, communicating, passing on ideas, taking ideas from you. And of course, you know, as storytellers, we are always looking for new ideas. You know, because storytelling and a sort of oral tradition is something that you really cannot, you know, keep to yourself. You know, it is one job where you have to give away what you have to get. So you give your story, you can't say, I'm not giving a joke, somebody go teach the joke, I'm not giving it. You have to give it. You have to tell the story and hope that in return you get more stories. We are always looking for new ideas. Like this fella come and say, Paul Keynes, I say what? He say, boy, I have a great idea for a new rat trap. I say, a new rat trap? He say, yes. I say, what? He say, a razor blade and a piece of cheese. I say, but how is that going to work? He say, no problem. I put in the razor here, and I put in the cheese there. So when the rat comes, the rat got to do so to get the cheese. I say, yes, but the rat not stupid, they're going to take the cheese and go. He said, but that is the trap. Because next day I'm not putting no cheese at all. So when the rat come, and he do so, and he don't see no cheese, he goes, but the damn cheese gone. And cut it short. You know, so now that I've explained to you what it's like to be a storyteller, because I like to educate my audiences, you know, we now tell a story. Of course, you know, West Indians never change. I don't care whether they put them in New York, they put them in Russia, China, on Mars, West Indians will not change. They dress up and thing is the same damn thing underneath. You understand what I mean? 2 Trinidadians gone to Rome. Little story. Gone to Rome to see the Pope. They say, boy, we never see the Pope. Never, wherever he is, we never there. We must see the Pope. So they gone to Rome to see the Pope. When they get there, of course, the Pope they have in Rome is a saga boy Pope. He never home. Always traveling in Germany, all about the place. Pope never home. Hot foot. So when they reach there, of course, the Pope not there. They're vexed. They sit down in front of St. Peter's. And when they suddenly look around and say, but look at how much space this man have here wasting. We could throw a damn good fete in the place. Look all this, how much step the man have, all this nice marble and thing. Look how much room we could throw a good fete, man. Well, boy, in no time at all, the 2 Trinidadians have barbecue chicken, roasting, music playing, and the party swinging in St. Peter's Square. You see people, man, the place jam-packed. Trinidadians selling barbecue chicken in Rome. Hey. Next thing they see the Pope coming back, he now come back from Germany. Well, boy, all man run. Even the partner jump and hide in the bush. But the man with the chicken say, me ain't leaving my chicken. I stay in here, chicken here, I here. So he stand up them and turn in chicken. And the partner in the bush looking. The partner see the Pope come up to him. The Pope look at him, Pope talk to him, and the Pope do so, he do so, he do so, and he do so. And the Pope gone. So the partner come and say, but you good man. You come quite from Trinidad, throw fete in the man place, sell barbecue chicken, and the man bless you. The fella say, bless. You know what the Pope say? The Pope says, see you and your barbecue and your friend in the bush, get the hell out of here. All right. Okay. Well, I'll do, I think, all right. I'll do a story for you in the tradition of the storyteller. Because it's not just comedy, it's communication, and we have children, it's a family thing. And I wrote a story called Pan Rap. And it tells the story of how the pan was invented. Once long ago, not so long ago,
And the story I tell him is true. A man take a pan and with a hammer in his hand, cool so he invent something new. It was an ordinary drum in which the oil used to come. It didn't make no particular sound. One note, maybe two. You could beat it till you blew. That was all it could do for you. Then this man get a plan with a hammer in his hand. And he say, I think I understand. Because if the drum making one, and the drum making two, well then the drum could well make quite a few. So the man take a pan with a hammer in his hand, and he stooped down there on the ground. And he hit it, and he beat it, and he stretch it, and he mark it, and the pan start to make a new sound. Ting, 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 ting. Was a do, re, mi, and a mi, re, do was all he could make it play. But it sounded so sweet that he take it in the street, and that was the first time they hear pan play. And all where he go when the crowds gather around and they jump to the notes that he found. And none would forget how they dance and they fed on the day that the steel band was born. And since that time, all over this land, you could hear the sweet sound of pan. For they hit it and they beat it and they stretch it and they mark it like that man with a hammer in his hand. They make a tenor pan and they make a second pan. Then they come and make a double tenor too. Then they make a guitar pan and they make a cello pan. Now, it's taking 60 men to make a band. They're playing do, re, mi, and fa, sol, la, ti, do, no place the pan can go. Upper class, middle class, lower class, no class. Class 6, the Kaiso. It was born on the streets of Trinidad. It has now gone far and wide. And there ain't no stopping, and there ain't no staying. It's a sound of a people's pride. So when you hear the beat of that steel band in the street and the shuffle of 1,000 feet, remember that man with that hammer in his hand who put the first notes on a pan. How he hit it and he beat it and he stretch it and he mark it as he stooped down there on the ground. How he hit it and he beat it and he stretch it and he mark it, and the band start to make a new sound. Ting, 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 ting. Pan rap. Okay. Well, I don't have all night here with you. I'll do one more story for you because I know we have a packed program for you. I'll tell you a little story. I mean, when the coup took place, I was not in Trinidad. I was in Canada. Went to Niagara Falls, coming back home about 9 o'clock at night on the 401. Now the 401 is the most dangerous highway in the whole of Canada. Smooth, 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 not one pothole in it, dangerous. Commanders fall asleep and run off the road and dead. This is why I like West Indian Highway, nice big potholes. Can't fall asleep and dead. So we driving on the highway trying to keep the man awake because we're afraid he fall asleep and run off the road. We went to go, we say, what happened? He said the radio said it have a coup in Trinidad. But I say, coup in Trinidad? You're joking, you mean barbecue? He said, boy, them things don't happen in Trinidad. God is, God from Trinidad. All the here you have refugee status living in Toronto, but God's at Trinidad, yeah. Listen, hurricane don't come to Trinidad. Volcano don't come to Trinidad. Tourists don't come. How do you mean a coup come to Trinidad? No, man. It had to be a mistake. How you can have a coup in Trinidad, You can have it in January, February, or March. That's Carnival. April, May, and June, CXC examination, Easter holidays, nobody going to go and coup with you. July, August, Barbados Carnival, Antigua Carnival, nobody going to coup with you. September, October, hurricane season, nobody going nowhere. November, Hussein, Diwali, all them kind of thing. Who gonna go and cool with you? And December is Christmas, so you gonna have a cool in Trinidad, boy? Eh? And at the end of the month, 27, Friday evening, 6 o'clock on a payday, no boy, not in Trinidad. For a cool to work in Trinidad, it has to be on a Wednesday, in the middle of March, about 2 o'clock, right after lunch. And it might work. So I said, let's listen to the radio to see if it's true. So we listened carefully at the radio show. There has been an uprising on the island nation of Trinidad and Tobago. A group of Muslim rebels have taken over the outhouse. Fellas say outhouse? Sorry, that should be the Red House, the seat of parliament. And there is fighting. So right away we know things serious. So fellas say, boy, this is it. Refugee status, we ain't going back home. We're driving straight to immigration. Refugee. I say, boy, I had to go home, have a dog to feed, I must go home. So they say the best thing to do, let us drive and find a telephone and call Trinidad. Everybody go on the telephone, we call. Circuit's busy, circuit's busy, circuit's busy. We can't get through. Until one fella get his friend called Philbert. Well, boy, you better we didn't get nobody at all. Philbert is the most depressing man I ever talked to in my life. Philbert said, boy, everybody dead. He said, police dead. Prime Minister dead. He said, Sparrow dead, everybody dead. You know? He said, boy, even Paul Keys does, he dead, everybody dead. We say, like Paul Keys, the place say, check him out, could be an imposter, check him out. So we say, Philbert, where you get your information? He say, from impeccable sources. His mother, cousin, ring his aunt, sister in Grenada, and she ring him in Toco and tell him. So we know Philbert suffering from trauma, so forget about he. So the only other person I know I could ring at that moment is Stan Merle. Well, boys, who tell me do that? From the time I meet get animals, she say, boys, stay where you are. Don't come back. Bullets, looting, shooting, bad behavior. Tanimal says she never see bad behavior, so she like the teeth in everything. If you stand too long, she say they're gone with you too. Tanimal tell me she was walking down St. Vincent Street, cool, so when she hear boom, so she said they must be celebrating Independence Day early. Next she said, kui. So she said, I wonder why so much mosquito flying down St. Vincent Street. Tanimal said it was bullets. She said, you see bullets. Bullets to the left, bullets to the right. A man said, hit the deck. She said she hit the deck. So when she falls, the whole red house shake. She said, there was no bomb. When she fall, the whole red house shake. Then she said, boy, they tell her evacuate the area. So she said, what she do? She put a basket in front of her. She get a parasol. She pushed the basket, she drags herself. She pushed the basket, she drags herself. Tanimal drags herself right down St. Vincent Street. When she get up, all she dressed straight away. And police want to arrest her with the basket, say she's a looter. If you see Tanimal basket, about 15 bullets go through the basket. She said, thank God for the Johnny Bake, stop about 6. But she said, I know this thing would have happened, you know. I know it would have happened. Those blasted muscle men. Is the muscle men cause this? Men who lift weights must go on riot. Is them blasted muscle men cause a riot? So I tell Tanimal, it's not a muscle man, it's a Muslim. She said, oh, so that's why the bullet didn't go through the ham sandwich. Thank you very much. Good night.